One of the most dangerous habits that hold women back is constantly seeking validation from others rather than cultivating self-respect. See, if you live for the approval of others, you'll die from their rejection. Women who allow themselves to be shaped by external opinions, by the whims of society, by the fleeting approval of friends, family, or even strangers online. They sacrifice their own potential. They let their worth be dictated by forces outside their control. True confidence is built from the inside out. It's not given to you by someone else. It's earned through discipline, through competence, through proving to yourself that you are capable. When you rely on validation, you become a prisoner to the expectations of others. And here's the real tragedy: those expectations will never remain the same. Society moves the goalposts constantly. What was acceptable yesterday won't be good enough tomorrow. So you must decide, do you want to be a puppet controlled by the strings of others, or do you want to be the one who takes control of your own life? Break the habit of seeking approval. Focus instead on earning your own respect. Do things that make you proud of yourself. Make choices that align with your values, your goals, and your potential. The moment you stop living for applause and start living with purpose, you become unstoppable. One of the biggest traps holding women back is choosing comfort over growth. Look, comfort feels good. It's safe. It's familiar. But what does comfort actually do for you? Nothing. Comfort is a slow killer of potential. It lulls you into stagnation, tricks you into thinking you're okay where you are when, in reality, you're stuck. Every time you choose comfort over challenge, you reinforce the habit of playing small. You avoid difficult conversations because they're uncomfortable, but you don't take risks because you fear failure. You let others make decisions for you because it's easier than standing up for yourself. But here's the truth. The most successful people, the strongest women, the ones who actually change their lives, they are the ones who willingly put themselves in uncomfortable situations because they understand that discomfort is the price of growth. If you never push yourself, you will never know what you're capable of. If you only do what's easy, life will be hard. But if you do what's hard, life becomes easier. So stop running from discomfort. Face it, embrace it. Because every time you push past it, you get stronger, smarter, and more resilient. Emotions are powerful and they can be an incredible tool, but they should never be in the driver's seat of your life. When women allow emotions to dictate their decisions, they become reactive instead of proactive. They let temporary feelings determine permanent outcomes. They make choices based on how they feel in the moment, rather than what's truly best for them in the long run. Think about it. How many times have you seen someone sabotage a great opportunity because they were too emotional to see it clearly? How many relationships have been destroyed because one person let anger or insecurity take control? When you let emotions run your life, you lose control of your future. Does this mean you should ignore your emotions? No. It means you need to master them. A strong woman acknowledges her emotions but doesn't let them dictate her choices. She recognizes fear but doesn't let it stop her. She feels anger but doesn't let it make her reckless. She experiences doubt but doesn't let it make her weak. The key is balance, learning to feel emotions without being controlled by them. Comparison is one of the quickest ways to rob yourself of joy and progress. Women hold themselves back when they constantly measure their success against someone else's. Social media has amplified this problem tenfold. You scroll through your feed and see women who seem to have it all. Perfect relationships, perfect bodies, perfect careers. And suddenly your own progress doesn't seem good enough. But here's the problem. You're comparing someone else's highlight reel to your behind-the-scenes reality. You don't see their struggles. You don't see their failures. You don't see their failures. You don't see the hard work it took to get there. You only see the curated, polished version of their life, and you let it make you feel like you're falling behind. Stop comparing. Start focusing. Your only competition is the person you were yesterday. If you're making progress, if you're even one step ahead of where you were last week, that's all that matters. Focus on your journey. Stay in your lane. Because the women who win are the ones who stop wasting energy looking sideways and start putting all their focus on moving forward. A lot of women struggle with this one. They say yes to things they don't want to do. They take on responsibilities that drain them. They put other people's needs above their own so much that they have nothing left for themselves. And why? Because they don't want to disappoint anyone. Because they want to be liked. Because they think that saying no makes them selfish. But here's the harsh truth. Every time you say yes to something that doesn't align with your goals, you're saying no to yourself, you're saying no to your time, no to your energy, no to your potential. You can't do everything for everyone and expect to have anything left for yourself. Strong women understand that saying no is not selfish, it's necessary. They know their worth, they know their priorities, and they are not afraid to set boundaries. Because the only way to create a life that is fulfilling is to stop filling it with things that don't serve you. Women who fear failure never achieve success. Why? Because failure is part of the process. Every single successful person has failed multiple times. And the difference is that they didn't let failure stop them. They learned from it. They used it as fuel. They kept going. But too many women let failure define them. They make one mistake and suddenly believe they're not good enough. They experience one setback and think it's proof they'll never succeed. They take failure personally instead of seeing it for what it really is, a lesson. Failure is feedback. That's all it is. It's not a reflection of your worth. It's not a signal to quit. It's a teacher, and if you listen, it will show you exactly what you need to improve. So instead of fearing failure, start embracing it. Expect it, because the only people who never fail are the ones who never try. And the ones who never try, they never win. Nothing holds a woman back more than a victim mindset. When you blame the world for your problems, when you convince yourself that your circumstances are out of your control, you strip yourself of your power. Because if everything is someone else's fault, that means you have no ability to change it. And that is a lie. Yes, life is unfair sometimes. Yes, people can be cruel. Yes, you will face challenges that feel impossible. But sitting around and feeling sorry for yourself will not change your situation. Complaining will not get you where you want to be. Waiting for someone else to fix your life will never work. The most successful women take radical responsibility for their lives. They don't make excuses. They don't waste time pointing fingers. They don't dwell on the past. They look at where they are, they decide where they want to go, and they take action. No matter how hard it is, no matter how unfair it seems, when you stop seeing yourself as a victim and start seeing yourself as the author of your own story, everything changes. Because now, instead of waiting for life to happen to you, you start making life happen for you. Perhaps the most damaging habit that holds women back is settling. Settling in relationships, in careers, in life. They accept less than they deserve because they fear that better isn't out there. They convince themselves that a good enough is enough even when they know deep down it isn't. Settling is a silent killer of potential. It robs you of the life you were meant to live. It keeps you stuck in situations that drain you instead of elevate you. And the worst part, most women don't even realize they're doing it until years have passed, and they look back with regret. If you want to break free from this, you have to raise your standards. You have to believe that you deserve more and then refuse to accept anything less. You have to be willing to walk away from anything that doesn't align with your worth, even if it means walking alone for a while. Because the truth is, the right opportunities, the right relationships, the right life, it only comes when you make space for it. And you cannot make space for greatness if you are too busy clinging to mediocrity. Stop settling. Start demanding more from yourself, from your life, from the world around you. Because the moment you do, you'll realize that you were never meant for average. You were meant for extraordinary. These are the habits that hold women back, and breaking free from them is not easy. It takes self-awareness. It takes courage. It takes a willingness to face the truth and make changes. But if you can do that, if you can break these patterns, you will unlock a level of strength, success, and fulfillment that most people never reach. The choice is yours. Fear is one of the biggest barriers between a woman and the life she truly wants. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of stepping into the unknown. It keeps so many women stuck, playing small, settling for a life they don't even love simply because they are too afraid to take the risks necessary to change. But here's the truth. Fear will never completely go away. No matter how much you achieve, no matter how much you grow, there will always be moments of doubt, moments where you question yourself. The difference between women who succeed and women who stay stuck is that successful women move forward despite the fear. They don't let it dictate their choices. They don't wait for the fear to disappear before taking action. They acknowledge it, but they don't submit to it. They understand that everything they want is on the other side of the fear, and the only way to get there is to walk through it. So ask yourself, how many opportunities have you let slip by because you were afraid? How many times have you stayed silent when you should have spoken up? How many dreams have you pushed to the side because they felt too risky? Ooh. If fear is making your decisions for you, then you are not in control of your life. And that needs to change. The only way to conquer fear is to face it head on. Take the leap. Speak up. Step outside of your comfort zone. You'll realize that fear is mostly an illusion. The things you thought would destroy you will not. The risks you were too scared to take are the ones that will set you free. One of the most common habits that hold women back is putting everyone else's needs above their own. They become so focused on taking care of others, partners, children, family, friends, that they neglect themselves in the process. It starts small, skipping workouts because someone else needs you, putting off your goals because you're too busy helping someone else achieve theirs, and saying yes when you want to say no. Before you know it, years have passed and you don't even recognize yourself anymore. A strong woman knows that self-care is not selfish. Taking care of your own needs, setting boundaries, making time for your goals, these things do not make you a bad person. They make you a person who respects herself. And if you don't respect yourself, don't expect anyone else to. You cannot pour from an empty cup. You cannot show up as your best self for the people you love if you are constantly drained, exhausted, and unfulfilled. Start prioritizing yourself. It doesn't mean you stop caring for others. It means you stop neglecting yourself in the process. Too many women stay in places they've outgrown because they're afraid to leave bad relationships, afraid to leave toxic jobs, afraid to leave old versions of themselves behind. They hold on to things that no longer serve them out of fear of being alone, fear of uncertainty, fear of what others will think. But here's the truth. If something is draining you, if something is making you miserable, if something is holding you back, you owe it to yourself to walk away. Growth requires letting go. You cannot become who you are meant to be while clinging to the things that no longer align with you. A strong woman knows when it's time to leave. She understands that endings are not failures. They are necessary transitions. She doesn't stay in places that make her shrink. She doesn't keep relationships that make her question her worth. She chooses herself. Walking away is hard, but staying in a place that stunts your growth is even harder. Be brave enough to leave what's not meant for you. What's not meant for you. Right. When they feel more confident, when they have more experience, when they have more money, more support, more clarity, they wait and they wait. And years pass by and they realize they never started at all. There is no perfect time. There never will be. You will never feel 100% ready. You will never have all the answers before you begin. And if you keep waiting, life will pass you by. The strongest women don't wait for the perfect moment. They create it. They start now with whatever they have, and they figure it out along the way. You have to stop waiting. You have to stop making excuses. Whatever it is that you want to do, start. Write the book. Apply for the job. Launch the business. Change your habits. The only thing standing between you and your next level is the decision to begin. Too many women live their lives based on how others perceive them. They make decisions not based on what they truly want, but on what will get them approval. They seek validation through relationships, through social media, through trying to be a good enough for everyone else. But let me ask you something. How much of your life has been shaped by what other people think? How many times have you silenced yourself because you didn't want to upset someone? How often have you made choices that went against your instincts just to fit in? The truth is, the more you seek external validation, the more powerless you become. Because if your worth depends on the approval of others, you will never truly own your life. You'll always be at the mercy of their opinions, their judgments, their expectations, and that is no way to live. A strong woman does not beg for validation. She does not shape her identity around what others want her to be. She respects herself enough to live on her own terms. She does not need permission to be who she is, and she does not shrink herself to make others comfortable. If you are always waiting for the world to approve of you, you will never be free. Stop looking for validation. Start building self-respect. Women who get stuck are often those who allow mediocrity in their own lives. They set low standards for themselves. They let their potential go to waste. They say, it's good enough instead of demanding excellence. This is how you slowly lose your fire. This is how you become someone who lives passively instead of intentionally. Because when you tolerate mediocrity in one area of your life, it spreads into everything else. you stop pushing yourself. You stop striving for greatness. And before you know it, you are living far below what you are capable of. You have to stop making excuses. You have to stop settling for less than what you know you can be. Hold yourself to a higher standard. Expect more from yourself. Challenge yourself. Challenge yourself. Because the difference between the women who succeed and the ones who don't is not talent. It's discipline. It's the ability to say, I refuse to live below my potential. A lot of women grow up being taught to avoid conflict. Be agreeable. Be polite. Don't rock the boat. But avoiding conflict comes at a cost. It means you never stand up for yourself. It means you let people walk all over you. It means you suppress your own needs to keep the peace. But here's the reality. Strong women are not afraid of conflict. They don't seek it out, but they don't run from it either. They understand that sometimes standing up for yourself means upsetting people. Sometimes setting boundaries means losing relationships. And that's okay. If you want to be respected, you cannot be afraid to speak up. You cannot be afraid to speak up. You cannot be afraid to say a no. You cannot let people manipulate you into silence. You have to own your voice, even when it's uncomfortable. Because the truth is, people will only treat you as badly as you allow them to. If you let them walk over you, they will. If you never set boundaries, they won't respect you. And if you never advocate for yourself, no one else will either. She's more successful than me. She's prettier than me. She's prettier than me. Is she smarter, more confident, more accomplished? And instead of focusing on their own journey, they waste energy feeling inadequate. Comparison is a trap. It will steal your joy. It will make you blind to your own strengths. It will keep you stuck in a mindset of I'm not enough. But the truth is, no one has your exact path. No one has your unique gifts. And the only person you should ever compare yourself to is who you were yesterday. Stop measuring yourself against other people's lives. You don't know their struggles. You don't know their struggles. You don't know what it took for them to get there. Focus on your own growth. Focus on becoming the best version of yourself. That is where your real power lies. They wait for the right partner, the right mentor, the right opportunity to magically appear. They think that success, happiness, and fulfillment are things that will be given to them instead of things they have to build for themselves. No one is coming to save you. No one is going to hand you the life you want. You have to go out and create it. You have to take responsibility for your own happiness, your own success, your own destiny. A strong woman does not wait for a man to complete her. She does not wait for permission to chase her dreams. She does not wait for life to give her opportunities. She goes out and makes them happen. Stop waiting. Start doing. Because the moment you decide to take control of your life is the moment everything changes. This is the truth. The things that hold women back are not external forces. They are the choices, the habits, and the mindsets they allow to control them. But the good news is, all of these things can be changed. You can stop seeking validation. You can raise your standards. You can step into your power. But you have to be willing to change. You have to be willing to let go of the things that no longer serve you. You have to be willing to step into discomfort and to challenge yourself, to grow. And if you do that, if you commit to becoming the strongest, most fearless version of yourself, there is nothing that can hold you back. One of the hardest things to accept in life is that not everyone is meant to stay. But too many women hold on to relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, even family dynamics that no longer serve them. They tolerate mistreatment because they don't want to be alone. They stay in toxic friendships because of history. And they keep giving chances to people who have proven time and time again that they are not capable of treating them with respect. But here's the truth. You cannot grow if you are surrounded by people who keep you small. You cannot thrive if you are constantly pouring energy into relationships that drain you. Comparison is the thief of joy, yet so many women fall into the trap of measuring themselves against others. They look at someone else's success and feel like they are falling behind. They see another woman's beauty, career, or relationship and start questioning their own worth. But here's the truth. There is no competition. The only person you should be competing with is the version of yourself from yesterday. Strong women do not waste time comparing themselves to others. They do not measure their progress against someone else's timeline. They do not let jealousy consume them. Instead, they focus on their own path. They celebrate other women's success, knowing that another woman's win does not take anything away from them. Then they stay in their own lane, knowing that what is meant for them will never miss them. Your journey is yours. Do not let comparison distract you from your own growth. Focus on becoming better, not on being better than someone else. How many times have you said yes to something you didn't want to do just to keep the peace? How many times have you agreed to something out of guilt, obligation, or fear of disappointing someone? This is one of the biggest ways women sabotage themselves. They overcommit. They stretch themselves thin. They say yes to things they have no business saying yes to because they are afraid of what will happen if they say no. But every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to something that could fulfill you. Every time you agree to something just to please others, you are sacrificing a piece of yourself. Strong women do not say yes out of fear. They say yes with intention. They protect their time. They set boundaries that honor their energy. No is a full sentence. You do not have to explain it. You do not have to explain it. You do not have to justify it. You do not owe anyone your time, your energy, or your peace. The moment you learn to say no to what does not serve you is the moment you reclaim your power. For far too long, women have been told that their emotions are a problem. That being sensitive makes them weak. Boink! That showing vulnerability means they aren't strong enough. This is the lie that keeps so many women disconnected from themselves. They suppress their feelings. They ignore their intuition. They silence their emotions in an attempt to appear tough. But the truth is, emotions are not a weakness, and not a weakness. They are a source of power. The ability to feel deeply, to connect with others, to navigate life with emotional intelligence. That is a strength, not a flaw. Strong women do not run from their emotions. They do not deny what they feel. They understand that their emotions are a guide, a signal that tells them when something is right or wrong, when they need to change course, when they need to set boundaries. You do not have to be emotionless to be strong. You do not have to hide your feelings to be taken seriously. The strongest women in the world own their emotions. They use them as fuel. They let them shape their decisions, not control them. Embrace your emotions. Honor them. They are not your weakness. They are your superpower. How many times have you said yes to something you didn't want to do just to keep the peace? How many times have you agreed to something out of guilt, obligation, or fear of disappointing someone? This is one of the biggest ways women sabotage themselves. They overcommit. They stretch themselves thin. They say yes to things they have no business saying yes to because they are afraid of what will happen if they say no. But every time you say yes to something that drains you, you are saying no to something that could fulfill you. Every time you agree to something just to please others, you are sacrificing a piece of yourself. Strong women do not say yes out of fear. They say yes with intention. They protect their time. They set boundaries that honor their energy. No is a full sentence. You do not have to explain it. You do not have to justify it. You do not owe anyone your time, your energy, or your peace. The moment you learn to say no to what does not serve you is the moment you reclaim your power. For far too long, women have been told that their emotions are a problem. That being sensitive makes them weak. That showing vulnerability means they aren't strong enough. This is the lie that keeps so many women disconnected from themselves. They suppress their feelings. They ignore their intuition. They silence their emotions in an attempt to appear tough. But the truth is, emotions are not a weakness. They are a source of power. The ability to feel deeply, to connect with others, to navigate life with emotional intelligence, that is a strength, not a flaw. Strong women do not run from their emotions. They do not deny what they feel. They understand that their emotions are a guide, a signal that tells them when something is right or wrong, when they need to change course, when they need to set boundaries. You do not have to be emotionless to be strong. You do not have to hide your feelings to be taken seriously. The strongest women in the world own their emotions. They use them as fuel. They let them shape their decisions, not control them. Embrace your emotions. Honor them. They are not your weakness. They are your superpower. One of the biggest reasons women hold themselves back is fear of change. They stay in jobs they hate because it's familiar. They stay in relationships that drain them because it's what they know. They resist stepping into something new because uncertainty terrifies them. But here's the reality. Change is the only constant in life. Whether you embrace it or resist it, it's going to happen. And the women who grow, who evolve, who reach their highest potential are the ones who stop fearing change and start using it to their advantage. When you cling to the past, you keep yourself from stepping into the future. When you resist new opportunities, you close the door on possibilities that could transform your life. But when you learn to welcome change, to see it as an opportunity instead of a threat, that's when you unlock your true power. Every great woman you admire has faced change head on. She has walked away from things that no longer served her. She has embraced discomfort in the pursuit of something greater. She has let go of the old to make room for the new. Do not let fear keep you stuck. Step into change. Lean into uncertainty. The life you want is on the other side of the things you are afraid to do. Many women believe that they have to be strong all the time. That asking for help is a sign of weakness. That struggling in silence is better than admitting they need support. But no one achieves greatness alone. No one succeeds in isolation. The most powerful women in the world have mentors, communities, and support systems that help them grow. You do not have to do it alone. You are allowed to ask for help. You are allowed to lean on others when you need to. Seeking support does not make you weak. It makes you wise. Find your people. Surround yourself with those who lift you up. Build a network that challenges you, encourages you, and helps you become the best version of yourself. Because the truth is, when strong women come together, they become unstoppable. How many times have you heard a woman say, "It's not that bad"? How many times have you seen women stay in jobs, relationships, and situations that make them miserable simply because they have convinced themselves they can't ask for more? This is what keeps so many women stuck. They settle. They tell themselves that they should just be grateful for what they have. That asking for more is greedy. That expecting better is unrealistic. But the truth is, you get what you tolerate. If you continue to accept less than you deserve, that is exactly what you will keep getting. Women do not settle for mediocrity. They do not stay in places that drain them. They do not shrink their standards to make other people comfortable. You deserve the job that excites you. You deserve the love that uplifts you. You deserve the life that fulfills you. Do not settle. Do not lower the bar. Demand more and don't stop until you get it. Many women spend their entire lives trying to be what others expect them to be. They shape-shift to fit in. They suppress their real opinions to avoid conflict. They pretend to be someone they're not, just to be liked. Just to be liked. But living for approval is exhausting. It is a never-ending game where the rules constantly change. And in the end, no matter how much you try to please everyone, you will still have people who criticize you. The strongest women are not concerned with being liked. They are concerned with being liked. They are concerned with being real. They speak their truth. They show up as they are. They are unapologetically themselves, knowing that the right people will respect them for it. Stop living for the approval of others. The people who truly matter will love you for who you are, not for who they want you to be. Women are often made to feel guilty for being successful. If they achieve something great, they are told to stay humble. If they speak about their accomplishments, they are labeled as arrogant. If they climb higher than others, they are made to feel like they should shrink themselves down. Enough. Your success is not something to apologize for. You did not work this hard just to hide your victories. You did not fight through challenges just to pretend they never happened. Strong women do not apologize for being ambitious. They do not downplay their achievements to make others feel comfortable. They own their success. They celebrate their progress, and they inspire others to do the same. Stop saying sorry for being great. Stop making yourself small for the sake of other people's insecurities. You have earned every bit of your success. Stand tall in it. Women are often made to feel guilty for being successful. If they achieve something great, they are told to stay humble. If they speak about their accomplishments, they are labeled as arrogant. If they climb higher than others, they are made to feel like they should shrink themselves down. Enough. Your success is not something to apologize for. You did not work this hard just to hide your victories. You did not fight through challenges just to pretend they never happened. Strong women do not apologize for being ambitious. They do not downplay their achievements to make others feel comfortable. They own their success. They celebrate their progress, and they inspire others to do the same. Stop saying sorry for being great. Stop making yourself small for the sake of other people's insecurities. You have earned every bit of your success. Stand tall in it. Too many women measure their worth by their relationship status. They believe that being loved by someone else gives them value. That if they are single, they are lacking. That if someone chooses them, it means they are finally enough. This is the biggest lie women have been sold. Your worth has nothing to do with whether or not someone loves you. You are not valuable because you are in a relationship. You are valuable because you exist. A strong woman does not need validation from a partner to know her worth. She does not settle for relationships that drain her just because she's afraid of being alone. She does not cling to toxic love out of fear that no one else will come along. Love is a beautiful thing, but it should never be the foundation of your self-worth. You are already enough. Whether you are single, married, or somewhere in between, you are whole. And if you can truly believe that, you will never again tolerate anything less than the love you deserve. Women who break free from these habits become unstoppable. They take control of their lives. They set boundaries. Take risks. They pursue their dreams without fear. And if you want to succeed, if you want to live a life that is truly your own, you need to do the same. Stop waiting. Stop apologizing. Stop settling for less. Start becoming the woman you were always meant to be. One of the biggest reasons women don't take action is because they're waiting for the right time, waiting until they feel ready, waiting until circumstances are perfect. But the truth is that moment will never come. There will always be obstacles. There will always be fear. There will always be reasons to wait, but successful women don't wait. They take action. They start before they feel ready. They move forward even when things aren't perfect. Perfection is a myth. There is no perfect moment. The only moment you have is now. If you want to change your life, you need to act. Not tomorrow, not next year. Right now.